That familiar smell of digital goodies waiting to be scooped up is filling the air, and you know what that means. It's time to grab that shovel and dig on in. We're here with another week's worth of games for you to grab, and they're so ready to go that they've practically got handles on them. Let's dive on into this week's episode of Desura's Weekly Release Highlights. Today we're starting off our look with a peer into the past for games that roar and blast through waves of enemies and finding our gaze fixed firmly on Black Nebula, an arcade action shooter by Alchemic Tempest. Weave your way through wads of wayward spacefaring foes and gather power-ups in classical fashion to aid your trip. With all the trappings of the classics, Black Nebula is a game showing love to my younger days spent leaning in the light of an arcade cabinet for hours on end. If you'd like to relive the glory days or just feel how it was, check out Black Nebula on the Windows operating system for $2.99 this week on Desura. A large set of tools become available this week for both gamers and game designers in the form of Tabletop Simulator, a software package which includes the ability to both play and create your own board games. If that doesn't work out, derive joy by flipping the table while everyone else looks on in horror. Making use of advanced expansions like the RPG kit will expand the suite even further, allowing complicated games such as D&D and Runebound to finally grace the digital table. If you're interested in pulling up a stool and taking part in some classical gaming, purchase Tabletop Simulator this week for $14.99 on the Windows, Linux, and Mac operating systems. Lurpicons are on the loose, and at the risk of laying low loads of L-related alliteration, I should probably take a moment to warn you, that bastard is trying to steal our gold. Who he is, where he came from, or what he's gonna spend it on, we're not really positive, but the fact of the matter is that he's laying down a mean line of explosive ordnance along the way. That bastard is trying to steal our gold puts players in the shoes of a gold-digging adventurer attempting to creep and crawl through dungeons with Lurpicon Dosh on the brain. Action platforming puzzle action is just moments away, so grab a piece of that bastard is trying to steal our gold on the Windows and Linux operating systems for $1.99. Welcome back to the California Gold Rush, where bathing is in bad form, there's one female to every 100 males, and liquor is the accepted remedy to all illnesses. In 1849, take part in a city-building simulator in which you'll guide a boomtown to its heyday by keeping your people stocked up on fatty foods, canning entertainment, and resources. Watch your hovel grow from a trapping outpost to a thriving city center over the course of each individual game, which provides unique victory conditions and challenges. If 1849 sounds like either a hoot, a holler, or some combination of the two to you, check it out this week for $14.99 on the Windows and Mac operating systems. Take a little time to get to know your father better and Time Swap, a look at the past. In the current day, you take the role of a lowly advertising employee of a massive organization which creates new exciting technologies. However, using a hat found in your attic, you can travel through time to get your father's outlook on things as they were in his time. Utilizing this time swapping mechanic, you'll make your way through a wide selection of puzzling levels which will put your time placement skills to the test. Alternate between the past and present to avoid traps, guards, and cameras in Time Swap, a look at the past. Time Swap, a look at the past is available for $1.99 on the Windows and Linux platforms. Lennox, Danielle, Romeo, and the precariously named Molesto are all brothers and sisters in a sunny, idyllic world where nothing ever goes wrong. That is, until some guy comes through and steals the eyeballs out of all of your giant rabbits. Obviously, you can't have a sunny, idyllic day where all the bunnies have had their eyeballs torn from their sockets, and thus you set out with eyes both on and as your prize in Machete, an action platformer by Qubit Games. Featuring a hefty dose of humor, retro visuals, and a jetpack mechanic to help you propel your way past challenges, Machete can be purchased this week for $5.99 on the Windows operating system. Everyone always cheers for an underdog, or the undergod in this case, and luckily their praise is being heaped in your direction. Guide a deity to ultimate power in Deity Quest, a minion-based RPG by Fancy Fish Games. Ascend to the rank of Overgod by converting and training minions who will participate in fierce battles on your behalf. Just in case they can't carry their own weight, lend a divine shoulder with support spells and vicious projectiles to help seal the deal. Deity Quest available now for Windows, Linux, and Mac platforms for $9.99. That's all for now, but don't have a cow because we will be back next week with more video games for you to ogle. If you enjoyed this week's episode, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay in the know about all the latest and greatest in gaming on the Desura platform. And don't forget, drop us a comment to let us know how we're doing. Thank you for taking the time to join us today, and we will see you in next week's episode of Desura's Weekly Release Highlights. Take care out there, everybody.